Most people have the Los Angeles Clippers as one of their biggest losers of the 2024 NBA offseason. The Clippers did lose one of their stars in Paul George to the Philadelphia 76ers, and they lost other key pieces as well, such as Mason Plumlee, Daniel Tice, and Russell Westbrook. However, the Clippers, they were able to add Mo Bamba, Nicholas Batum, Chris Dunn, Derrick Jones Jr., and Kevin Porter Jr. The Clippers will be entering their new arena this season with one less star, but they still do have James Harden and Kawhi Leonard, who are still two top players in the league, if healthy. In this one, I'm actually going to tell you why the Clippers will still be competitive in the Western Conference, and they might end up even being better in 2024 or 2025 with the revamped roster. If y'all can do me a favor, please hit a like on the video. It helps it a ton. And also, please subscribe to the channel for more Clippers and NBA content just like this. And shout out to BetUS for sponsoring today's video. Firstly, when you look at this new Clippers team, their defense has a chance to be very, very good this season. The Clippers signed several good perimeter defenders with Derrick Jones Jr., Chris Dunn, Nicholas Batum, and they still have Terrence Mann and Amir Coffey on the roster. You look at Jones Jr., he's coming off just an absolutely exceptional playoff run with the Dallas Mavericks, in which he was playing lockdown defense against a number of stars, including Paul George. He also played great defense in the regular season. Jones Jr. held Curry to just 5 of 22 shooting from the field and 2 of 13 from 3. Jones was a big pickup for this Clippers team. He can take on the toughest defensive assignments every single night, and that's going to alleviate a lot of pressure on Kawhi Leonard, who could just focus more now on the offensive end. Also, you look at Chris Dunn, he played well for the Utah Jazz as well. With Dunn on the floor, the Jazz were outscoring opponents by plus 7.7 points per 100 possessions. He is a standout when it comes to generating turnovers. In 2019-2020, he led the NBA in steal percentage at 3.8, and since then, he has remained one of the top players in the league in that department. And then you look at Nicholas Batum, he's back with the Clippers. And Clippers fans, I'm sure they're happy to have it back. Let's not forget, Batum was a nice piece for the Clippers for over 3 seasons before being traded to the Sixers in the Harden deal. He's back now, and he's going to provide a lot of versatility with this Clippers team, as Batum in the past has logged minutes at small forward, power forward, and center. He's going to give Coach Ty Lue a lot of flexibility with how he can play him this season. So Batum, also another good defender. And then let's not forget, the Clippers, they still have Zubats, and last season, he led the NBA in field goal percentage allowed in the restricted area. So while you look at the pieces the Clippers lost, highlighted by Paul George, make no mistake about it, this new Clippers roster does have a chance to be one of the best defensive teams in the league this season. Now, guys, before I continue on with today's video, I do want to shout out today's sponsor, BetUS Sportsbook and Casino. If you're looking for a new book this basketball season, BetUS is the answer. They're currently offering a 125% bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000. And right now, I got a bet that I'm eyeing down. If you look at the 2024-2025 Pacific Division winner odds, the Los Angeles Clippers are plus 600. Obviously, in their division, you got the Suns, Warriors, Lakers, Kings, and really, a lot of people, they're gonna think the Clippers are not gonna fare well. I actually think the Clippers got a shot to win this division. When you look at the teams in this division, I think the Clippers, their toughest challenge is gonna be the Suns, try to surpass them, but I think the Clippers are still better than the Warriors, Lakers, and Kings. So I'm actually going to go ahead and place this bet. Clippers winning the Pacific Division this season, and you can get it at good odds there at plus 600. If you want to tail this bet, you can definitely do just that. Thank you to BetUS for sponsoring today's video. So beyond the defensive potential that this Clippers team is going to have for the season, the Clippers, they still have their 2 stars who are playing at a high level in James Harden and Kawhi Leonard. And when Leonard and Harden share the floor, the Clippers are one of the best teams in the league. Last season, lineups with the duo had a net rating of plus 7.2. During the regular season, only 2 teams beat that pace, the Celtics and Thunder. Leonard and Harden have played only 4 games together without George, and they're actually 3-1 in those 4 games. And then you look at their numbers with and without George last season. This is promising, guys. So first, James Harden with Paul George, averaging 16.2 points per game, 8.4 assists per game, 5.1 rebounds per game. And then without George, his numbers go up to 21 points per game, 9.8 assists per game, and 5.7 rebounds per game. And then you look at Leonard, his numbers go up as well. With George, average 23.5 points per game, 3.6 assists per game, 5.9 rebounds per game. And then without George, he averaged 26.8 points per game, 4 assists per game, and 8.4 rebounds per game. So those are some very compelling numbers, and that leads you to think both these guys can step their game up even more without George in the mix. And you look at Harden in particular, he had to play at a bit of a reduced role, especially offensively with George, but now he can revert back to his old playing ways and truly maximize his offensive abilities. We know Harden's capable of going off. And then Kawhi Leonard, he's coming off a strong season. He was able to suit up for 68 games, which was really, really great to see. And he averaged 23.7 points, 6.1 rebounds, 3.6 assists, and 1.6 steals per game on an impressive 52.5% shooting, 41.7% shooting from deep, and 88.5% shooting from the free throw line. Those were really, really good shooting splits. And the Clippers, they don't have to try and juggle 4 stars anymore like they did last season. They now have a clear dynamic and hierarchy this season with Leonard and Harden, the clear 2 top guys on this team, and now they have a very capable supporting cast around him. And I look for a guy like Norman Powell when looking at players who, can elevate their game with George out of the mix now. I mean, he's been money for the Clippers, just such a consistent scoring punch for them from off the bench. Clippers, they have surrounded Leonard and Harden with high-level defenders, and that's what we want to see. I think it's going to be tough to score against this team, and the Clippers, they're really going to pride themselves on their defensive play for the season. And again, going back to Powell, you look at him with the offseason acquisition of Kevin Porter Jr., I think they're going to be just 2 great offensive spark plugs from off the bench. So I think there's going to be nice balance to this Clippers team. I know when you look at the big picture, nobody's expecting the Clippers to be title contenders this season, but that might actually be a good thing because the expectations are certainly lower with this team than in years past. But the Clippers, they can definitely still be a team that flies under the radar, because when I look at this team, guys, to me, they are still well positioned to do big things in the West this season, and they could very well be a contender that no one sees coming. So I know when you look at it, yes, they lose Paul George, they lost some of their other pieces. Yes, so many people have this team as the biggest loser, and they've just been ridiculing the Clippers for failing to add another big piece or doing something after losing George, especially since they're going into their new arena and all that. But this is a matter of the Clippers putting the pieces together. They tried the star approach of just trying to get as many stars together. Clearly that didn't work, but I have a good feeling about this Clippers season. I have a good feeling that this recipe now, where you have a hierarchy of having your 2 clear-cut players, obviously Leonard's still the guy, hopefully he can remain healthy, we know how important that is, but now you have these good, perimeter defenders, you have a good defensive team, you have balance with the starting lineup, the bench, and I think the Clippers could end up being better. So I do like what the Clippers have done despite the pieces that they have lost. I'm definitely a lot higher on this team than many other people, I feel, so I wanted to do this video just expressing that. I think the Clippers are not going away. This is still going to be a team that will be amongst some of the better teams in the Western Conference. So let me know your thoughts, guys. Clippers fans, what are your expectations for this team going into the season? Are you optimistic? Are you pessimistic? Let me know your thoughts. Hit a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and once again, thank you to BetUS for sponsoring today's video. That is it for me. It's Lucas signing off. As always, thanks so much for watching. I will catch you all again in the next one.